Welcome to White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey, where today we're going to do a walkthrough of some of the features, systems, and operations unique to this 2011 Puma 31KBHSS. This is stock number TT12882. We're going to start outside with the main awning operation, and I have Brian here giving me a hand today with that. So we're going to demonstrate how to unlock the awning. So at the back of the awning arms themselves, you have locks on each arm. You want to press them in to release that. And then there's also a knob at the bottom that you can loosen to let that open more smoothly. For travel, you want to make sure those knobs are nice and tight once you put the awning back up. So we're duplicating that on the back awning arm. Lock mechanism is unlatched using the awning arm pull. It's at the top of the front awning arm, and it's labeled roll up or pull down. So you're going to pull that down to open. You go to the center of the awning where there's a pull down strap. Use your awning hook, hook it in there, and pull out. Make sure with wind or rain you do want to keep that awning stored for travel because it's a large area there, so just to protect it. Once it's fully extended, you can slide your awning arms up these awning poles. They slide inside. If they're a little hard to move, make sure you loosen that knob. It's going to slide easily or lift out of that track. And then right up to the top. Going to lock in there as a support. Push down gently on the awning arm, tighten the knob. Same thing on the opposite side. Once you have the awning arms out and secure, you're going to use the handle at the base of the awning arm itself. Flip it up and lift. You can see all the different holes it can go into. You can angle one side lower than the other if you like. Again, in wind or rain or any severe weather, make sure you bring that awning in to protect it. Don't leave it out. To close the awning back up, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to drop down the awning arms on each side. Push down gently. You can loosen the tension on that knob if need be. The inside awning arm is going to slide back or lift out and recess back flat against the camper there. Okay, you can see the knob there. Make sure you're tightening these up for travel so they're not going to fall off for you. Same thing on the opposite side. To roll up the awning, you're going to take the awning rod, loop it through the center hole on your strap. Hold on to the strap. And then your roll up is right at the top of the awning on the front. So you're going to flip that back, holding onto the awning strap. You can loop the awning arm holder right through the loop at the bottom, which makes it easy. Just hold on to it to keep some of that tension on so it doesn't roll up real quick. And there it's stored. Want to push in on your arms to make sure they snap into place for locking, and again, make sure those knobs are tight. Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
I'm going to take you to the front of the camper. We do have an ABS LP cover with a hinged lid access. There are twin propane bottles on the front. Open valves are here. Make sure they're in the open and on position to access your propane system. You also have an automatic regulator at the back here. It will show you what tank it's running off of, and it can change color to let you know when you're pulling from a different tank, so you could fill the first tank, top it off. This particular model has a power tongue jack, which operates the switch at the bottom. There is also a manual override if you lost power. Pop off this little hole cover, and there's a crank handle where you could manually raise or lower the jack. You have a hitch light there. Coming down this side of the camper, you'll see the new sewer kit included. Stabilizer jacks, which are used to stabilize the camper up or down using the crank handles. You'll see both the awning rod and the crank handle included in the outside compartment here. Walking down the off-door side of the camper, we're going to reach access to city water. This is where you'd hook up a water-safe drinking hose at the campground. City water is already pressurized, so there's no need to use the water pump if you're using campground water, city water connection. Also electrical cord, this is self-storing. You're gonna store it up inside this compartment. Your plug fits in there, and this can close off for travel. Dump valves are also at this area. So you have 2 dump valves. You'll see there's a cap we've removed here. You attach your sewer hose. Gray valve is soapy water draining down the sink and shower. Black valve is toilet waste. A good tip is to let the black waste, the toilet tank, accumulate for a couple days. Pull that dump valve, let the toilet waste drain out, then pull the gray water, soapy water valve and let that wash through the line. Coming down the back of the camper, another stabilizer jack. You do have cable input for campground. If you have access to cable, you could hook up here, or if you're running satellite, you could also hook up there if you have an aftermarket or tabletop satellite that you'd like to use. Spare tire. Roof ladder, great for maintenance. Recommended maintenance, check your seals and gaskets. Scrape reseal as necessary once a season. Outside kitchen on this model. Microwave is strictly electric. You do need to be plugged into a power source. You have your on-off switch for your overhead light. In order to use the wall switch, make sure that the switch itself on the light is turned into the on position. You also have a switch whether you want to use the inside or the outside microwave. Because they draw a lot of amps, you can choose either or. So this is set right now to the inside microwave. When you come outside to use your outside kitchen, you can easily switch it to the outside microwave and you'll see it power up. So again, back to inside. Refrigerator on the exterior. You do have a thermostat control for temperature inside the fridge itself. Entry steps. Your lowest step flips on top of the middle step. The entire mechanism folds back and away and recesses up under the trailer. Outside shower and a lockable compartment on the door side. You also have access panels to the outside of your refrigerator. This is a vent. To access this, you would spin these in the upright position. A coin or a key can help you to do that. Really, you just want to make sure this area is kept clean and free of any debris, spider webs, leaves, etc., because they can wreak havoc with a propane system. Same thing with back access panel of your water heater. This is a drop-down door. This is going to vent warm air in normal operation, so make sure this area, as well as your furnace vent heater, which is there, that's the back of your furnace propane vent. They're both going to vent warm air, so make sure they're free and clear of any lines, chairs, any other gear you might have outside at your campsite. The back of the water heater, there is a reset button here should you need it. Pilot is going to be up in here. And just of note, there's a drain plug. So if you're going to do winterizing yourself, you want to remove the drain plug, let the water come out, and then make sure you're installing a drain plug as well. Some operations are here on the inside of the door panel, as well as inside your owner's packet of information. Please feel free to access the owner's packet for additional information, more specific instructions on everything you're seeing here, or give us a call with any questions. Freshwater connection is here. This is an access for a water-safe drinking hose. You'd go right into your freshwater tank, and this is pressurized using the water pump located inside the camper. So this is if you're going to fill your onboard freshwater tank, as opposed to being hooked up on city water at a campground, which we saw on the opposite side. Also, you have outside cable hookup, and you have outside electrical here. There is a bracket if you wanted to bring a television outside. Above, you have outside speakers, as well as an exhaust vent for your range. Folding grab handle is going to lift and fold either way flat for travel. Just lift and turn that. And then you will see access here to a little pipcock drain valve. So right up underneath, you'll see it's located under the furnace vent underneath the camper. If you have fresh water in the system, which we do, you can open that and let some drip or drain off. Coming up to the front of the camper, outside storage compartment, you can again see the awning arm and the stabilizer jack handle, light here. And I'll bring you on up and show you some of the features on the inside. Again, this is a feature and systems walkthrough of a 2011 Puma 31KBHSS. This is stock number TT12882. For more specific information and instructions, please do refer to the owner's manual or give us a call. Television and stereo, you can select your inside-outside speakers here. I'm going to turn it off so we can hear a little bit better. TV swivels, so if you want to watch it in the living area or your master bedroom, pull the pin here. Make sure your doors are open to the back, and then you can swivel that TV around. For travel, make sure you're locking that so it doesn't move on you. Coming up into the master, overhead light switches. You do have sliding pocket doors. These are snap travel locks, so make sure you're unsnapping them to operate the door smoothly and snapping them back up for travel so they stay put for you. Overhead is air conditioning vents, as well as speakers. Emergency exit window is located in the front master. You would release these handles, flip them up, push out on the window if you needed to get out as an emergency. On the opposite side, I'm going to walk you around. There is TV antenna here. So this is a TV antenna that raises and lowers along the roof line. You would crank it up or down here, and it can also rotate. So to rotate, you would pull down and then move that to improve your TV signal if you're running your TV antenna. For travel, make sure it's in all the way down position, the lowest point along the roof to protect it and be safe for travel. On the side, you do have some overhead light switches. To use these switches, make sure the light themselves are turned on the lights. Also at your entry door, you have a fire extinguisher, you have your slide room controls, and you also have electrical. So slide rooms are operational best all the way in or all the way out. That's where they're level and where they're sealed. So let's use one of the slides here. We're gonna bring the slide out in, press the toggle switch here. You're gonna see your slide in start to move. Again, all the way in or all the way out, a full cycle of that slide out is where you're level and sealed. When it gets to full extension or retraction, you may hear a clicking noise. That's a clutch motor. That's normal operation. Tells you when your cycle is complete. Coming into your kitchen area, you have a systems monitor panel along the kitchen wall. This is your water heater. So you can access turn it from the inside. Water pump switch, again, you'll hear it pressurize if you're pulling water from your fresh tank. Battery levels, fresh, black tank, which is just toilet waste, gray soapy water, and then you have a separate galley tank as well, check there. Overhead, here's your exhaust vent and light. This is what we saw on the outside. Microwave is electric. You need to be plugged in. Again, if you're using the inside microwave, make sure that switch outside is set correctly for you. Stove and oven are propane powered. To operate a burner, go to light, use a match or aim a flame, ignite that, and then control your setting higher or lower. When it's all the way off and cool, this is a bifold range cover. This would lift up and fold back on top of the burners as a nice cover. For the oven itself, you're gonna turn it to pilot on. You're gonna use an aim a flame or a match, long match, to light the pilot at the back of the oven, and then you can use your temperature control settings on the knob itself. Propane leak detector is to the right of the oven. This is a safety feature. It is a shrill, loud alarm. It does have a test reset button right on it. It also draws from your onboard battery. So your auxiliary battery does power this. Whether you're storing the camper or not, it's gonna have a small draw. So it's a good idea if you're gonna be away from the camper for a while or storing it off season to disconnect your battery, take it into a garage or shed to keep it topped up and well, and then this will not chirp or pull down that battery for you. In the event of a propane leak, you do wanna open your windows. You would hear the shrill very loudly. Open your windows, check for any propane, turn off your valves. Please see your owner's manuals for more information and instructions. Underneath the oven, you have an intake for your furnace, which is your vent heater. And then under the fridge, we removed this panel just to show you. 4 screws here. You can see we're gonna put that panel back on just to show you access to the back of the water heater. So there are valves here. Again, if you plan on winterizing the coach yourself, refer to the owner's manual or look up specific instructions on how to do that. Coming back into your hallway area, under the wardrobe is your main converter, which is your breaker box and fuse panel. Spin the latch at the top, clearly marked with your breakers and your fuses. This will vent warm air in normal operation. So if you hear a fan running or feel any warm air there, that is normal. Keeps the converter nice and cool and running correctly. You also have light switch here by the bath area. This controls the lights overhead. And then you have your main thermostat. So your thermostat is cooling, heat, and also your fan controls and your temperature. So right now we have the air conditioning on. It's pretty chilly in here, feels nice. If I want to set it to heat, I'm going to go down to the furnace, and you're going to hear that furnace kick on. There is a time delay on either air conditioning or furnace. That's normal operation. So if you hear it delayed when you're turning it on or off, again, that's normal as the system shuts down or resets. Control your fan settings here. Your air vents are overhead. Heat vents are down in the floor. So there's your directional air vents, heat vents in the floor. And just of note, your main intake for your air conditioner is here. This is a chill grill if you want to close it or open it to get more cool air into your living area more quickly. This panel here, you would drop down. There is a filter under there that can gather dust, and it's recommended to keep it clean, shake it out, wash it. Once a season is nice for maintaining that. Coming back by your bath area, there is an access panel here to plumbing. Should you need it for any reason, you would unscrew those 4 screws to access the shower plumbing. Same thing at the base of the shower. Your main GFI is in the bath, located behind the sink. Test and reset button is here. If you had any electrical questions, you'd want to come here, test and reset that, and then check your breaker box. Foot pedal toilet, very easy operation. Push down, flush and rinse the bowl. You do have overhead light switches as well as fan switch. Make sure you're using the crank handle to open your vent there. There's also a switch on the fan itself if you prefer. Coming back into the bunk area. Again, you have a snap travel lock on your sliding door. Bunk here, emergency exit window, works the same way as the one we saw forward. Overhead bunk does flip back and away. This has a 300-pound bunk capacity, and you can latch it if you prefer to use just the lounge sofa underneath. And then coming back around, there is a self-storing ladder at your loft area. Lift up on the ladder and store it for travel. We hope you've enjoyed this feature walkthrough of some of the systems and operations. Any questions, please refer to your owner's manual, give us a call. Again, this is a 2011 Puma 31KBHSS. We thank you for watching, and we wish you a wonderful day. Happy RVing ahead.